Ken LaRoe is the CEO of First Green Bank. He practices a new kind of banking. We call it regenerative finance. He lends to people like Hugh, an organic blueberry farmer who wants to make a living but also wants to live in right relationship with the land that he cultivates. This is Hugh's story, but it's also a larger story about a new way of working and living in the emerging regenerative economy.
My name's Hugh Kent. I farm blueberries in Eustis, Florida, and this all started for me about 10 years ago, 10 to 15 years ago. I met Ken LaRoe. I live on a farm that's been in my family for 4 generations since 1890, and it was up for sale, and my family decided they couldn't hold on to it anymore, and I looked for a banker who would understand what I was trying to do in buying it and making a living from it, and trying to do something a little bit different for the local economy, trying to preserve a piece of Central Florida history. When Ken first saw this property, he told me he was familiar with it, and he was familiar with it from childhood. He grew up a few miles down the road, and he and I had both watched this area change, and we were disturbed about it. We were seeing some of the same kind of development that we had seen change other parts of Florida quickly, drastically, and permanently, and we didn't want this area to become something that wasn't worth caring about anymore. So together we looked at different ways of development, and we hit on one, and he supported it through to the end, and ultimately it was sold as conservation land, but it was well along in the process, and it gave other people some confidence to follow through even further than we did. I see the continuation of the project with the bank moving from development that was a little bit unconventional to agriculture, which is unconventional, to be closely related. It really just means trying to do something a little bit better, in our minds better. And what that means is striking a balance so that we continue to be profitable, but we can be pleased at the end of the day to look out over our fields and realize that we haven't extinguished everything that lived here. If you build a development and you don't insist on leveling the whole thing and you retain some of the natural ecosystem that was there, that's gratifying, and I think in the long run it's a better way to do things. We can do that with agriculture too. There's no reason why we can't strike a better balance. We're excited about growing blueberries organically in Florida. We think it's a good climate for it, and they seem to be relatively pest resistant if you keep the plants healthy enough, and we look forward to sharing what we learned with other growers and encouraging some more to work in this direction.